Right.
Yes or no? Would you still say no, we still shouldn't do it?
No. Who would want to come to Southfield or who would want to go to Farmington to go and gamble? I just...
Who wouldn't?
People seeking for entertainment.
People who are going to Windsor.
Exactly.
Well, to be honest, I still say no because I have a prediction. If that happened, then and everyone else went to Southfield, everyone from Southfield went over there to gamble. Basically, they'd be talking about, oh, we're looking for a good time, but when they come back, what do they have? They have nothing. I mean, they would end up spending so much money that they said, well, they wanted to spend, but they end up spending it all. And that money is going to be, their money is going to be left over there. And with us left with nothing, just a hi, how you doing, thank you for playing, and bye. That's it.
I have a couple comments on that. We were discussing how a lot of people would go and spend all of their money. After the decision was made as to whether or not a casino would be put in Detroit, I mean, small details would have to be worked out, as just a means of comparing it to another city where another city's casino was close by. I know that they started what was like a cover charge, and the whole purpose in doing that was so that people would not, the cover charge I think was $10, and that was so that the people that were going to the casino would not take their last money to go blow it. You know, if you have a cover charge, that would kind of limit the people that went. If you have to pay $10 to get in, if that's your last $10, you can't go because you will have no money to play with. That kind of cuts down the people that are going that really do not need to go, the people that only have that last few dollars in their pocket and don't need to be gambling it off at a casino.
There are casinos on several Indian reservations. You understand why the reservations can have casinos. Like reservations are like almost foreign countries, basically. It belongs to the Indians. And the idea in Detroit, or at least one of them, was to essentially give a piece of property to an Indian tribe, at which point it becomes a reservation. I mean, that was the legal theory behind that. I don't know if it would have held, but that was the theory behind it. Or to put it on the river, which would have been no country, basically, all right, or Canada, if they were in Canadian waters. But, you know, don't you think there's something a little bit, I don't know, hypocritical about saying, okay, it's okay on the, I mean, I know we don't have any right to tell the Indians no, but I'll tell you, we're pouring a lot of money into new roads in areas where there are casinos to help the traffic. You know, I mean, this is big-time tourism. All right? If you ever been up there, if you ever passed by an Indian casino up north, you can't get near the place. And we're putting in roads. I mean, the state money is putting in roads because of increased tourism. I mean, we're not necessarily helping. It's just that we have to put in roads because they can't take the traffic. So don't you think it's a little hypocritical to say, oh, you know, it's okay on Indian reservations, and we'll even put in new roads, but we're not letting it into Detroit?
Regular.
Right.
Yeah.
You think Detroit should have it, don't you? I mean, frankly, I kind of do too at this point.
Yeah.
But what about the problem of people who will gamble too much? Now, cover charge is a...
Well, you know, people from Detroit, a lot of people do go to Windsor Casino, and I just think that if it was put right in Detroit, that like a whole lot more Detroiters would go to that one. And I mean, it'll suck them dry. It'll suck Detroit dry out of their money, basically.
I agree. And they said it was talking about the jobs that casino gambling would bring to Detroit. But the level of the jobs is not something that you can make a good living off of, you know, like and grow up to a higher level and expand on. I mean,
yeah, that's true. I don't know what some of the casino jobs are real good.
Right,
all right?
that's, I was going to say.
If you're a pit boss, you know, or if you're actually one of the dealers, so they don't make a lot of money, but they get a lot of tips. I mean it's a real good, it's pretty good income. But a lot of the other jobs, you know.
Yeah, on the average.
I wanted to disagree with that. They were saying, you know, that the jobs don't pay that much. I mean, that's just like in almost any company. It all depends on what position you have in the job. You know, if you're just, say, a waitress at the casino, you may not make that much money. Your basic salary is going to come from your tips, you know. But if you're, say, a position such as someone that has to do with the marketing or somebody that has to do with the average, something that's an inside job for the casino, regardless, the casino, it takes a lot of people to run a casino because a lot of people come to a casino. And not all the jobs that you see are the only jobs that it's going to provide. It's going to take a lot of inside jobs as well as the jobs that you see externally, you know.
But
Go ahead.
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say that the tips that people use is going to go towards the gambling, and also if the people that they get to work at the job is going to be professional people that the casino hire, not people from the streets. If it's going to bring more jobs for the city, it's not going to do that. They're going to bring in their own people that are professional.
Well, no,
necessarily.
one of the groups, I mean, it's possible, but one of the groups, the one that was going to sell the tribe a piece of Greektown, that one, did make a commitment that 65%, I don't remember what they said, okay, that 65% or something of the people that they hired would be from the city of Detroit.
Right.
A lot of these jobs don't take a lot of training. Some of them take a lot of training, but a lot of them really don't. And they, you know, and they did make that commitment. And it wouldn't be too hard to say prove it, show us where your
Right.
employees live.
It's not a really matter of the requirements that you have to work the position. I guess like that all goes back to whatever position it is. Because I know someone personally that, matter of fact, while my brother was in college, I think the only requirement is that you're of age, you know, like 18. And because you are working around so much money, they do take some type of credit check and they do go through all of that.
Sure.
But I know my brother worked in a cage while he was in college, which means because of his major was finance, and he worked in the cage as kind of like in connection with his major. That was nice money, and he got a chance to work with something that was in connection with his major, you know. That wasn't anything that he had to have any type of
He
requirements
sat in a
for.
cage and counted money?
Huh?
He sat in a cage and counted money?
No, it wasn't a cage that you counted money. It was a cage that all the money comes through, and you have to divide it up and tally it, and you
Okay.
have to
From each?
know
Right.
what money goes to what department and why it goes there.
You know, in many foreign countries that have it, that have casino gambling, do not allow the people in that country to play. Did you know that? If you, or else they limit it. In other words, you know, if you go to, we go to Aruba, not for the casinos, it's because of the weather, but I mean, not that we don't visit the casinos, but you never see Arubans in the casino, and they'll come after you. I mean, if they see an Aruban come in, and don't ask me how they know, to be perfectly honest with you, but if they think you are, they will come after you and say, you know, what are you doing here and whatever. And in some countries, they are literally only allowed to go once, and I don't know how they keep track of this, but once a month or something like that. And I think it's for the reasons that you're giving, is they don't want people in the country to, you know,
spend all their money.
right.
Exactly.
But it breaks in a lot of money. I mean, Detroit can use the money.
Right. And just like you're going to have those people that really don't need to be spending the money, which that's kind of like personal discretion. You have to, I guess, limit yourself and know when to go and when not to go. It's also going to bring in a lot of high rollers. You're also going to have that group of people that can spend the money and that are going to put a lot of money into the casino.
Well, the truth of the matter is a lot of people who don't go to Windsor, like moi, don't go, A, because I'm not waiting in line for 3 hours, you know, and I'm not paying $50 for valet. But the bottom stakes are very high in Windsor. In other words, the limit, the smallest amount you can put down at a blackjack table, I understand, is like $25
Right.
a bet. You know, that's way beyond me. I mean, I'm
Right.
you know, maybe 5, but that's, and that's what stops a lot of people from coming too, is high bets. But when the big casino opens up, I'm assuming that will go down. And right now they can be picky because they don't have much space.
Right.
I don't think that'll be there forever like that.
And I wanted to say what she had said was true, but to be honest, it's a lot of people out there that when they get into gambling, is for the simple fact that they go out and spend the money and they don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
And I think that's really the top of the line, because I'm saying that it's really going to take Detroiters, it's going to suck Detroiters dry, because there's a lot of people out there that don't, when they get to gambling, they just don't know how to stop.
That's true. There's no
But it's so
question.
easy to get over to Canada. All the people that go over there are coming from Detroit anyway, so
Right.
why can't we get that money that they're
Exactly.
getting?
See, that's,
'Cause it's so-
that's the big point of people who are like me, who don't particularly like it, but Windsor is getting the money
So why
Right,
not
and
let
half,
us get it?
more than half of
But
the
how-
people that
how
go
are
over
they
there
getting
are
the
coming
money?
from Detroit.
through gambling.
But I mean, like, how is it really helping Windsor?
Well, I mean, you know, when millions of dollars more are coming in, you can build better infrastructure. You can put more money into housing. You can help small businesses start up. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things cities do
So
with money.
just for new things, but what about the businesses that are there now? Wouldn't they be
It'll
hurt?
help. It'll help the
No, actually,
businesses
they
like
help,
the
right.
restaurants and stuff
They
around
actually
there.
help.
It'll help the businesses.
But
'cause-
what if the casinos have restaurants and stuff, and the people figure, well, let's go here instead of
Yeah.
to
Well,
these
that's
particular
fine.
restaurants?
That helps the casino.
So, but it's going to take the money from the other businesses that are there.
Not necessarily,
No.
because when you're inside the casino, you might not always want to eat inside the casino. That's just like saying, you know, the hotels that are inside the casino, that might hurt other hotels in the city. That's not necessarily true. Just because you go to the casino for entertainment reasons doesn't mean that you want to do everything inside the casino as far as eating or staying or, you know.
But it's
everything like
an
that.
interesting question. It would be interesting. I don't know what the answer, by the way, is. It would be interesting to know how the restaurants, for example, the most obvious, in Windsor are doing. I mean, has business increased, or are people just staying in the casinos, going out to dinner someplace else, or forget dinner? Well, I'll go at 2 o'clock and come home at 5, and saying that I don't care to spend any money in Windsor. I just want to go and
You gamble. Who wants to
gamble
really
and-
eat? Let's go gamble.
And-
Well, I know the people that go there. They go to the casino and then come back downtown Detroit and go eat out like at Fishbones or Greektown or whatever.
Right.
After they come back from Canada, so I mean, why not just have a casino in Detroit where you won't have to go across the
Well,
bridge?
Detroit
to
has
Canada to
reaped
gamble?
some benefits from it. It has not hurt the convention business in Detroit to advertise that you can go across the river to Windsor and gamble. That's however, the problem for Detroit is going to be if Chicago, which is now talking about casino gambling, I don't know if they're going to do it. If Chicago, which has huge convention business, decides to put in a casino, and Detroit can only advertise that you have to go on a bus and get over to Windsor, or rent a car and go over to Windsor, that could hurt our convention business. There's a lot of things, the spin-off profits, in other words, the convention business, the restaurants, hotels certainly, and that kind of thing. How much more, though, I don't know, and I don't know how much is more really in Windsor. I really don't. I think probably most people are staying in Detroit.
Detroit does have a lot of conventions to come to the city, a lot of group meetings, a lot of business meetings, anything of that nature. I think that would help the casinos even more, because when you have conventions that are in the city for, say, a week at a time, Detroit really doesn't have a form of, well, not that I know of, a form of adult entertainment that you could just go to and entertain a group of people, a large group of people, where everybody can do it, especially this time of year. I mean, the weather's cold outside. You can't exactly walk up and down Greektown when it's 20 degrees outside, A casino in the area would allow a large group of people to have some form of entertainment in an enclosed area.
But who wants to really come to cold Michigan when they could go? I mean, like, we usually flock down to Chicago every other weekend. People go to Chicago, but who really wants to go to Michigan? Who really wants to come to Detroit?
Well, it's just as cold there.
Right. it's
True,
colder in
windy. It's
Chicago
cold.
than
It's windy. True, but we go there. I mean, how many of us know that a lot of us go to Chicago and would rather go down there than to come up to here? It's always snowing. It's always cold. No one
But
wants
that's
to go
just
to
saying, why would people
Detroit.
go to Chicago to shop? It's
Exactly.
cold there,
It's
but
cold there, but people still
it's
do
something
it.
to do.
So very true. I'm not disagreeing.
Right, right.
Okay, so you're saying it would be better for people, instead of to walk down Greektown, go to the casinos, spend all their money, and be walking outside in the cold anyway because they have no home.
No, I'm not saying that it's better, but I'm saying it gives, when you're dealing with a large group of people, it gives a large group of people something. I'm talking about as far as conventions are concerned, like when large groups of people come to the city. It gives them something to do, especially during the winter months when it's so cold in Detroit.
I don't think, by the way, that I don't think real poor, I mean extremely poor people, are so much the problem as the next level up. I mean,
Right.
really poor people can't put a $25 bet down or can't pay a $10 entrance.
charge, right.
The problem is the middle class or whatever.
That's what I mean.
Really poor people are buying lottery tickets and still playing the numbers.
Yes.
And the numbers
That's what
are
I
still,
mean.
it's still
That's
there.
what I mean about
Me
middle
too.
class.
I
They
mean,
want to
Yeah.
gamble.
gambling is so tricky.